Partnered by Times Influence.
Welcome to the Times Now ICICI Bank NRI of the Year Awards 2018, powered by the Global Indian International School. The NRI of the Year Awards recognizes excellence in the field of academia. And the winners in the academia category this year include
Arav Rajesh, Asia Pacific. Amitesh Paul, Middle East. Ramesh Agarwal, North America. Narendra Kumar, UK and Europe. Kuldeep Sidhu, Asia Pacific.
And we're in conversation with the winner of the NRI of the Year Award in the academics category for the Middle East region, student at Indian High School, Dubai, Amitesh Paul. As a student in high school, you've made significant strides spreading awareness about how critical it is to recycle across the Middle East. Very curious to understand what drew you to this cause in particular.
So my main motivation for this cause was the fact that recycling and waste segregation not only protects the environment by mitigating environmental problems such as pollution and climate change, but also protects the health of the public. Also, I'm motivated by United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which encourage sustainable development through reduction in waste generation by prevention, reduction, recycling and reuse.
Well, through the environmental workshops that you've led, you've encouraged not just white-collar but blue-collar communities to recycle. What are some best practices we can adopt from your efforts in the Indian context?
In the UAE, the blue-collar workers make up a significant portion of the community. And as many of these are Indians who are coming from India to earn a living, if we encourage these blue-collar workers to practice waste segregation practices, then when they return back to India, they can encourage not only the family members but their friends and community as well to do the same. Also, we should ensure that we set up color-coded waste segregation recycling bins in factories, offices, labor camps and other public spaces.
Well, the discipline to recycle is best inculcated and nurtured early. So how do you encourage segregation of waste at the student level? How do you encourage more student participation in this movement?
So what I have done is that as the environment club coordinator in my school, the Indian High School Dubai, I've set up competitions for recycling, then cleanup drives, recycling campaigns, quiz competitions and many other events to encourage the recycling and waste segregation at the student level.
Phenomenal. Well, you're born and brought up in the Middle East, and yet you credit a lot of your success to your Indian upbringing. So how can the next generation of Indians living abroad help further shape India's success story?
I'm extremely proud to be an Indian, and I believe that the culture and traditions of India have greatly influenced my campaigns. I believe that the next generation of NRIs can not only draw from their own Indian traditions, but also from the cultures, traditions and the values of the countries they live in.
And what does it feel like today to be recognized as an NRI of the Year by the Times Network, by ICICI Bank, on a scale of this magnitude?
I'm extremely proud to be a recipient of the NRI of the Year award. I'm humbled by this occasion. I would like to thank the jury for selecting me for this award. I would like to thank my entire family for supporting me through all the phases of this journey by helping me cross all the hurdles in all my campaigns. I would like to thank the Times Network and the ICICI Bank for instituting such a prestigious award for recognizing the achievements of global Indians.
Thank you, Amitesh. We wish you continued success.
Thank you.
And we're in conversation with the winner of the NRI of the Year Award for the Asia Pacific region in the academics category, student at Global Indian International School, Singapore, Arav Rajesh. Arav, you've single-handedly designed and developed a rainwater harvesting system at this tender age. What gave you the confidence to put your ideas forward?
I've been very passionate about water conservation and conserving Mother Nature. So I got this opportunity at the Sembawang Shipyard project, which has been started by our school. So I put forth my model on rainwater harvesting, which is conserving water by collecting water on terraces of houses. I've also won an award from the Minister of Environment and Water Resources, Mr. Zulfikar Masagos, and I felt extremely delighted to be winning that award.
Well, as you mentioned, the model that you've developed around rainwater harvesting has officially been recognized by Singaporean authorities. What are the various components of this model and how does it make for effective water management?
Water is one resource that should never be wasted, as one day it could actually run out. So the water is being collected on terraces using pipes and is taken to tanks where it is stored before filtration. From this tank, it goes to an overhead tank using solar energy, which is got from solar panels, which is on top of the overhead tank.
For other students that may have an interest in making a career out of protecting Mother Nature or pursuing it at an academic level, any words of wisdom you have to share with them?
For students, it's quite hard to be doing this because their voice is not usually heard. But I got this opportunity from my school, so I gave it my best and made this model. It was recognized by the government and the ministers, and the students should keep doing this and they should never give up.
Well, creating a balanced ecosystem is no small feat for even the most brilliant of minds. So what are the challenges you encountered along the way in proving that your idea even had merit?
There were many challenges I faced. I had to use recycled material and they think I'm just a student, what can I do? Sembawang Shipyard project, the people came to my school and my school said, Arav, why don't you go and give your model, or why don't you make a model? I gave it my best and my family and my teachers also helped me a lot during this process.
Today you're here as an NRI of the Year. What does it feel like? What are the emotions you're experiencing?
I'm extremely delighted and overjoyed to be winning this award. I've won this award due to the constant pushing of my parents, my teachers, my friends, everyone who's constantly around me. Due to them, I've won this award and I've also achieved many things. I'm extremely delighted to be winning this award.
Thank you, Arav, for spending time with us. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
We're in conversation with the winner of the NRI of the Year award in the academics category for the UK and Europe region, PhD in cardiology from Maastricht University, Netherlands, Dr. Narendra Kumar. Sir, you are among the first to pass both the level 1 and the level 2 in the European Board certification exam in the field of cardiac electrophysiology. Today, we're of course celebrating your success story, but what are the challenges that you encountered along the way?
Thank you so much for the congratulations. I must say it has been a long journey, especially to become a cardiac electrophysiologist, and it has been a not only long journey, but it also needed a lot of time as well, so in which sometimes I had to compromise on my family issues and the other things as well. And I must say thank you to my countrymen and of course to my professors also at Maastricht University, especially my mentor Dr. Karl Timmermans and Hein Wellens, who all have been the people who literally started up this field in the whole world. And they have been kind enough to help share the knowledge with me, and I was able to pass this exam.
India is of course the coronary artery disease capital of the world. Has that consciously or perhaps subconsciously played a role in your decision to pursue cardiovascular management professionally?
When I was a young kid, my father was a district assistant judge. I was just 7 or 8 years old when he had to undergo a bypass surgery. I'm sure this is relevant to a lot of other people as well, because in India, the coronary artery disease starts to happen almost a decade before compared to the Western counterpart. And as I said, even in India, I have seen people with age of 18 to 20 years having a heart attack. So this was definitely one of the motivation for me to go towards cardiology. In fact, a lot of the people who get stroke, 65% of them tend to have an arrhythmia which is called as atrial fibrillation. So I would like to really say there's a lot of scope, especially in these kind of fields, especially for the stroke management, arrhythmias like atrial fibrillation ablation as well. And we can definitely assure those people have a much better quality of life, and they can, the mortality and the morbidity as well of those patients can definitely decrease significantly. I would really request those people to be seen by specialists who are trained well in atrial fibrillation ablation.
Well, that leads me to my next question. And NRIs, sheerly by way of their life experiences, they inherently have a global perspective. Does that offer them a unique advantage when it comes to humanizing healthcare?
We do have our Indian roots and connections, but we definitely take care or try to help our things, especially to the whole world, and we are trying to help them as well. But let's not forget our roots, which is based in India, and we should also try to give back to our respective fields in which we are experts in India as well. We can share our expertise and also help our Indian colleagues and friends as well to bring them to a global level.
And what's especially fascinating about your background is that you've spent so much time studying cardiovascular disease in both domestic and international environments. So curious to understand how they differ and how can you capitalize on those synergies?
I must say as well, in my initial 9 years of medical field being in India, 9 to 10 years, I hardly had published any paper. But later on, being at Maastricht University, in the daytime we had to do the clinical procedures. However, in the weekends or the evening hours, we had to do our research work as well. It did take me a little bit of time to graduate slowly to the research orientation of the mind and started producing papers. And also later on, I became some of the editorial board members for some of the most reputed journals. So most of my work has been on heart arrhythmias, but this is one of the key messages that we should try to generate good quality data and also try to publish them as well, because that's how science or the field of research grows. We can learn from them and we can try to implement the newer things as well.
So you've been selected among hundreds as an NRI of the year. What does it feel like?
Thank you so much. It's really an amazing feeling. I must thank the ICICI Bank and Times Group for doing a felicitation and giving us an opportunity to reconnect with our Indian friends, colleagues and family members so that we can not just strengthen them but also give or contribute back in terms of academics or research work as well.
Well, keep doing all that you do in your journey towards tackling heart disease. We congratulate you. Thank you for spending time with us.
Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure being over here.
It's time for a short break, but the Times Now ICICI Bank NRI of the Year Awards 2018 continues on the other side. Stay with us.
Tipu, Vibha, Abhi Chachu.
Oh, I had to transfer money to Abhi in India for his tuitions. I don't have his new bank details.
Papa, use the Money to India app. Select Abhi's WhatsApp contact and send money safely.
Really?
Download the Money to India app and safely do transfers to your Facebook or WhatsApp contacts today. ICICI Bank Money to India. Transfer bharose ka.
Walk through life. Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let it take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way?
आप किसी के साथ पूरी जिंदगी बिता सकते हैं and still not get to know them. So कहते हैं the best way to really get to know someone is to travel with them. You get to make memories जो सिर्फ आपकी हैं. So रुकिए मत. Get to really know each other.
You will always find a perfect holiday with Cox & Kings.
Life's a trip. Cox & Kings makes it easier.
This generation lives in the ever-evolving present. English is the lingua franca of the digital age, and it is the mode of expression for Generation Y. The number of English content viewers has risen 3 times over in just the last 1 decade. About 218 million viewers, which constitute the Indian middle class, view English content. An audience greater than any of the widely spoken languages such as Tamil, Telugu, or any language other than Hindi. English is the only bona fide pan-Indian verbal medium and the language of choice for the Indian intelligentsia.
When will we see issues like caste not hijack the development agenda, the economic agenda of this country?
With over 60% in the urban English population, there is only one network that dominates the category. Now is the moment for Times Network. engaging with today's audiences on air and online. Times Network, now or nothing. The English television category leaders across urban India. #1 in English movies. #1 in English entertainment. #1 in English news. #1 in business news. A channel that presents the wild side of Hollywood, MNX. And now also presenting Mirror Now, a news channel unlike any other, where the focus remains solely on issues that impact you every day. Mirror Now, you first. A unique network comprising extraordinary channels that lead the genre they represent across formats, thus reaching out to the discerning English viewer every day, every hour.
India means business.
Times Network. Informing.
यूपीए की सरकार के 10 साल और हमारी सरकार के 3.5-4 साल हुआ है, उसका तुलनात्मक ब्यौरा देश के सामने आते रहना चाहिए.
Entertaining.
Look at this.
And inspiring India. With over 60% of English viewers watching Times Network, we are privileged to be the one-stop destination for every second dedicated English content viewer. Times Network, now or nothing.
आप किसी के साथ पूरी जिंदगी बिता सकते हैं and still not get to know them. तो कहते हैं the best way to really get to know someone is to travel with them. You get to make memories जो सिर्फ आपकी हैं. So रुकिए मत. Get to really know each other.
You will always find a perfect holiday with Cox and Kings.
Life's a trip. Cox and Kings makes it easier.
Daddy, see so many coins. It's for your birthday gift.
So sweet. Keep it carefully, huh?
I will keep it safe in a bag.
Oh, you know everything.
Daddy, he is my friend Aimo. He knows everything.
But how will you send all these coins?
With my plane.
Sweetie, we should send money with someone who has been doing this for a long time and is trusted by all and who will keep your money safe.
ICICI Bank Money to India is the trusted one.
Exactly.
Trusted by millions for over 15 years. Money to India from ICICI Bank, India's largest private bank. Thanks, beta.
Visit moneytoindia.com or download the app. ICICI Bank Money to India. Transfer भरोसे का.
Welcome back. You're watching the Times Now ICICI Bank NRI of the Year Awards, powered by the Global Indian International School. We're in conversation with the winner of the NRI of the Year Award in the academics category for the North America region, William Palms Professor of Engineering at Washington University, St. Louis, Professor Ramesh Agarwal. Professor, you're considered to be among the world's top aeronautical scientists and a pioneer in particular when it comes to computational aerodynamics. So before we proceed any further, give us a sense of what this field entails and what it makes possible.
Well, thank you very much for the compliment. I've been working in the field of aerospace engineering for over 40 years since I first graduated with a doctoral degree at Stanford University. At that time, primarily there were theoretical methods, or what we call now old-fashioned methods, which were used for the design of air and space vehicles. So the designers of transport aircraft, fighter aircraft, missiles, launch vehicles, and other space vehicles were primarily dependent upon the in-flight data or the internal data supplemented by the old-fashioned theoretical methods. So I was very fortunate that I started my career when this field of computational aerodynamics was just taking off.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, sir, but the study of computational aerodynamics seems to be really focused on the design and development of vehicles that fly.
Yes.
So that said, were your theories, ideas, proposals initially facing any resistance from the larger academic community?
Not really. I think by the time I started my career, it was recognized that with the availability of the computers, it will be now possible to do the analysis and also use that information in conjunction with the internal data to design and improve the current vehicles which are already in service, and also to design new vehicles. And particularly in the United States, a large amount of money and as well as effort was put in, particularly by organizations like NASA, Air Force, and Navy, to enhance this kind of activity and get the people from academia from industry and government organizations involved.
So the design and development of vehicles that fly,
Yes,
no small feat.
yes,
Incredible challenges must have come in your way.
yes.
How did you circumvent them?
Well, when you look at the problem, then you take a holistic view that what would require, what kind of tools or what kind of new technology development would be required to solve that problem. Let us say we have a Boeing aircraft which we use in everyday transport from one place to the other, and they are very common these days. Now, the question arises is, how do you model it? So the first thing comes into play is that how do you model the geometry? It's a very complex geometry. So we need the tools for geometry modeling. Do we have those tools or not? So those are what we call the building blocks of computational aerodynamics.
Absolutely. Sir, for aeronautical scientists on Indian shores that are looking to further their professional development, how can someone in your position help create opportunities for them?
For last 30 years, I've been a frequent visitor actually to India and have visited many institutions, particularly the NAL, Institute of Science Bangalore, ISRO, as well as other institutions like IIT Bombay, IIT Kharagpur, and so on. And so there has been a tremendous development. As a matter of fact, I have seen the evolution of the computational aerodynamics or computational technology in India take leaps and bounds. So India is really on the map in these products in the area of space research in the world.
So how does it feel to be recognized as a recipient of an NRI of the Year award?
Well, I think I feel very honored. It is a really matter of great pride that I have been selected as this award winner. I have seen the bio data and other details of the previous award winners, and I think they are extremely impressive in almost all categories that I have noticed. So I think that to be a part of those kind of distinguished people who have received this award in the previous years makes me feel on one hand very humble that I have been selected by the Time group for this particular recognition.
Sir, we applaud you for your groundbreaking efforts in the field of computational aerodynamics, and we wish you continued success. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And we're in conversation with the winner of the NRI of the Year award in the academics category for the Asia Pacific region, Professor at the Center for Healthy Brain Aging at the University of New South Wales, Professor Kuldeep Sidhu. Professor, your interests in medicine are multidimensional, between in vitro fertilization, cloning techniques, genomics, so on and so forth. And let's not forget healthy brain aging. So what's the specific opportunity that brought you down under to Australia?
If you see the genesis of my journey coming from India, I specialized on in vitro fertilization, starting with animal and then with human being as well. And then followed up by, looking at the embryos, how they develop, and then solve some of the infertility problem in human as well. So I went for a conference in Australia a long time, I think 1984, when I met up with the professor there, and he was very much interested in also in vitro fertilization and other stuff. And when we open up the commonality of the problem worldwide, he asked me to come over to Australia to explore further what we can do together and set up a lab back home in Prince of Wales Hospital in the University of New South Wales. And that's where my whole journey of stem cell biology came about, looking at aging process and how we can use those stem cells for the welfare of the patient concerned and diagnostic and developing some new therapeutic down the track.
Well, sir, I have to ask, you grew up in middle class India, at a time where genomics was likely in its infancy. So what fueled your interest in the subject?
This is fascinating for me from the point of view that if you look back on genomics, say for example the genetic engineering, the human genome concept, that came in early 80s, and when the world was trying to converge all the resources to understand the human genome project, we spent $4 billion. Now if you look back after 3 decades of research in human genome project and genetic engineering, every dollar we put into the genome project is giving a dividend of $400 every dollar we spend it. So this is the magnanimity and the impact of that particular technology that has given the opportunity to diagnose diseases, develop new therapeutics, and help all those patients suffering from genetic point of view.
Now, you've been credited with chairing a lot of cross-border collaboration in the context of the biomedical space. What can be done to give India a more influential voice in the global conversation around genetics?
That's very, very important from the point of view that when we talk about the multinational and the cross-country collaborations, it's very important that we understand that you have to bring out your own profile to collaborate worldwide with the lab throughout the world. Now, I have the opportunity because I'm sitting in Australia in Sydney, University of New South Wales. There are a number of opportunities. I involve myself in a multinational consortium. But in order to be a part of those international collaborations, every nation has to pick up in terms of the level of research they carry out, the level of funding that goes into to do that level of research so that it's picked up at the international level. And I'm pretty sure India is doing very good at the moment. I don't know how much government is putting in money to understand the disease process in India. Much more need to be done. So we need to bring up scientists from India together in the common platform to understand so that the local aspect of the disease, dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, is taken care of by international collaboration.
So you've been recognized as an NRI of the Year. What does it feel like?
I'm greatly humbled by this recognition from the soil where I come from. I'm settled now in Sydney, University of New South Wales, but I greatly value my roots. At the same time, I come from a background where I was recognized within my own country. I am the Indian National Science Academy awardee in the year 1981. So all the expertise, all my educational aspect which I got from India, I cherish all the moment. But there are certain limitations in terms of if you want to do a bit more. So you need to look at the perspective where else you can do and what else you can do. So my journey from India, taking a lot of experience from this country, developed my own passion, and then came out to go to US and then to Australia to explore with meta. And that's where I feel very privileged, and I really feel very happy that I've come back to my own country and then again being recognized. I'm greatly humbled.
Well, Professor, we certainly applaud you for all of your revolutionary research in the field of healthy brain aging. You're certainly transforming lives. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure is mine.
Well, that brings the Times Now ICICI Bank NRI of the Year Awards 2018, powered by the Global Indian International School, to a close. Thanks for watching.
आप किसी के साथ पूरी जिंदगी बिता सकते हैं and still not get to know them. So कहते हैं the best way to really get to know someone is to travel with them. You get to make memories जो सिर्फ आपकी हैं. So रुकिए मत. Get to really know each other.
You will always find a perfect holiday with Cox and Kings.
Life's a trip. Cox and Kings makes it easier.
Daddy, see so many coins. It's for your birthday gift.
So sweet. Keep it carefully, huh?
I will keep it safe in a bag.
Oh, you know everything.
Daddy, he is my friend Aimo. He knows everything.
But how will you send all these coins?
With my plane.
Sweetie, we should send money with someone who has been doing this for a long time and is trusted by all and who will keep your money safe.
ICICI Bank Money to India is the trusted one.
Exactly.
Trusted by millions for over 15 years. Money to India from ICICI Bank, India's largest private bank. Thanks, beta.
Visit money2india.com or download the app. ICICI Bank Money to India. Transfer भरोसे का.
Walk through life. Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let it take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your
आप किसी के साथ पूरी जिंदगी बिता सकते हैं and still not get to know them. So कहते हैं the best way to really get to know someone is to travel with them. You get to make memories जो सिर्फ आपकी हैं. So रुकिए मत. Get to really know each other.
You will always find a perfect holiday with Cox & Kings.
Life's a trip. Cox & Kings makes it easier.